Hello everybody, Nikki White here, and today I'm going to share with you the ultimate Miffy guide when visiting the Netherlands. And as you can see behind me, we already got a Miffy statue.
Now we're starting off this video in the birthplace of Dick Brunner himself, which is in Utrecht, or Utrecht if I'm saying it properly maybe. There's several Miffy sites in Utrecht since it's where Dick Brunner was from. We're starting off at Miffy Square, or Nijntje, which is her Dutch name. Probably not pronouncing that right. But there's this quaint little square with a bronze statue of Miffy, and she looks like she's been here since like the ancient days of Stonehenge. And it was quite nice because it was peaceful, there was not many tourists. You could get up close and personal, see the statue, sit down in the square, and just have a moment of peace. Up next is the Miffy traffic light, and when I was in the intersection looking for it, I looked for the group of the Japanese tourists who also love Miffy. And there's not much to say about this, it is literally just a traffic light with a cute little Miffy for stop and go. Make sure to go to Centraal Museum and go around back to see these two Miffy sculptures before you go into the museum. And one of them is kind of trippy. It's got like her face repeated in a 360. So make sure you check these out. And even if you're not going to the museum, it's free to walk behind and check them out. Now, I think the coolest thing I saw was Atelier Dick Brunner, which is in Centraal Museum. And it's a recreation of the artist's studio. So there's lots of information on the wall for you to read up about him, his life. And as an artist, I thought it was super cool to see his space, learn more about his process. In this space, you'll get to learn more about his life, his career, his illustrations, which I thought was super interesting. So make sure to not skip this and try to soak up as much information as you can while you're there. And it was quite nice because it wasn't too crowded. So I got to walk around, see things, and it's not like you're fighting off other tourists. And this is definitely a rare occasion where I sat and I watched the 20-some minute documentary on Dick Brunner's life and work, and I was quite enthralled. I was the only one there. I was sitting there with the little headphones on and just soaking it all in, learning about his process and how he created Nijntje, Miffy, and how he never used a ruler, how he would start by sketching, and the colors are all always the same color palette. And I didn't know this, but he actually used paper to then cut out the colors to fill a transparency. So he would do it layered, the transparency with the ink on top of these colored cardboard pieces. And then that would go off to the publisher, but not before his wife had to approve the artwork. And a common thread being in this town is that you can tell the Japanese absolutely love Miffy, which you would know if you've been in Japan because you see her everywhere. And sometimes people think that Miffy is Japanese because of this, but no, she was created right here in Utrecht in the Netherlands. And it's funny because you'll see a lot of signage or Miffy and Japan kind of memorabilia, so it's super cute. And once you're done seeing all the different exhibits in Centraal Museum, stop by the gift shop because it is chocked full of Miffy things. And it is free to get into the gift shop if you're not going to the museum and want to get some Miffy gear. And something to note is that there is no gift shop across the street at the Miffy Museum. This serves as the gift shop for both Centraal Museum as well as the Miffy Museum. So if you are looking to get some swag, make sure you come in here. And I did find, whether or not it's exclusive, that there was a different selection of Miffy items here versus other stores I had been to, including the official Miffy store. So keep that in mind when you're here, that maybe some of these things are exclusive to this store or are just harder to find in other stores. And of course, no trip to Utrecht would be complete without a trip to the Nijntje Museum, which is the Miffy Museum itself. And it's full of these bright primary colors that Dick Brunner would use in his work. You can see the Japanese on the wall. That's how much the Japanese tourists love this place, as well as me. There is a Miffy cafe, and it is decked out head to toe Miffy, and the chairs were something that I literally wanted to take home, as well as the Miffys hanging from clouds. Super cute. I'm doing a whole separate video about my experience at the Miffy Museum, so keep an eye out for that, and we'll go through the whole museum in great detail, as well as the cafe menu. We ain't gonna show it here. You'll have to come back to see it. Something to note is that this is technically a museum for children. So if you're a huge fan like myself, to get tickets, you're gonna notice that you only get an afternoon time slot. So you'll be coming in at around 3 o'clock is the earliest you can get into the museum if you're not coming with children. The final stop in our Utrecht Miffy pilgrimage is this statue of Dick Brunner and Miffy. So it's kind of two-sided. We've got Dick Brunner on one side, and if you walk around to the other side, it's Miffy. It's a cute little homage to the artist himself, and they are wearing the same outfit. And again, this was not overrun with tourists. It was easy to go and see. There was like maybe one other tourist there taking pictures. So make sure you hit up all these stops while you're in town to really complete that Miffy pilgrimage. Okay, we are moving back to Amsterdam, and we are going to the Nijntje official store. Of course, this is the place that has a lot of Miffy all in one place. They've got a ton of plushes, they've got books for children, they have keychains, accessories, they have stuff for babies, which I'm a big baby because apparently I want all this stuff. They've got some decorative items. So if you don't have time to hunt around for Miffy pieces, this is going to be your one-stop shop to pick up whatever it is that you are looking for. And the prices range from reasonable to expensive, I would say. And I was trying to be really good on this trip because usually I just go crazy and buy whatever I want. But yeah, it's not like the prices are super low. And also I have so much stuff, so I was trying to be good. But watching this footage back, I'm like, should have got a plush. I personally love more so the classic Miffy look versus they had like crocheted stuff or like rib stuff, which I got there trying to keep the brand alive and kind of reinvent, 70 years of Miffy. But I just like the classic stuff. That's the simple stuff is good. I'm not into kind of going too far from that. And the following is my potential controversial take and hot tip is hit up a Hema, and they've got a good range of Miffy stuff, and it's stuff that I haven't seen in the other stores. It can be more so kitchen focused or a bathroom or stationery, and everything seemed kind of cheaper here or more of a reasonable price than the official Miffy stores. I would say for the price and selection, definitely don't sleep on this. This is the place that I bought anything that I did get Miffy related versus the official Miffy stores. So make sure to check that out. And like I said, this is kind of the place where I actually spent money on Miffy things. And especially since I was trying to not bring back too much stuff because I was only traveling with a personal item, they have practical cute stuff, which is my favorite range of items. So I ended up getting myself a little Miffy bucket hat as well as some kitchen utensils. And I got an enamel pin for my crossbody cutie bag where I get pins for each country that I travel to. And the next two sculptures on the list are within a stone's throw of each other, really. They're in the museum area, and this one is a royal coaster diamonds and Nijntje statue. I think this one is kind of ugly as sin. I really do not like this one, but hey, if you're committing to the pilgrimage and seeing everything there is Miffy, stop by. It's free, it's right close to the other sculpture anyways. This one is much cuter in my opinion. It is the Miffy Peace statue. As you can see, they've painted over her face to make her ears also a peace symbol. And this one is also right near the museums and very quiet, so you can just go check it out, sit down if you want to take a break. So make sure to kill two birds with one stone and check out both these sculptures when you're in the museum area in Amsterdam. If all else fails, you can always get some Miffy items at the airport. She is plentiful, so you can always snag something last minute if you have to. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Okay, see you, bye!